so I can take it. Okay. So I can see the reflection. That's in my
Hello. All right, that's better. Welcome you aboard. Just want to give you a couple of safety announcements before we get on the way. Let you know Fort Dearborn has plenty of life jackets which are located underneath these benches here on the east side.
We'll swing around to that main branch in just a few minutes. That's when I'll get into all of this wonderful architecture, but before we get over there, I do need to talk about this river for saying, we don't want your disgusting water. But before any hearing can actually take place, Chicago just went and did it. Reversed the flow of the river around the city of Chicago, and he single-handedly saved this lakefront for the future generations, fighting for nearly 20 years. This was late 1800s into the early 1900s. They really shaped the future of our city. So we'll be moving back underneath Lakeshore Drive, officially onto the main branch. So once we're over there, I'm going to start off with a few buildings over to your left side before the majority. Gone through a ton of renovation over the years, but they have managed to keep these towers intact. And this bridge is dedicated to the city of Chicago by Franklin Delano Roosevelt. He traveled out here, gave a big speech on the day of the dedication.
Daddy, there's people running up there. How did they get up there?
Designed by Jeannie Gang. She is head of Studio Gang, Chicago architect, Chicago native, doing incredible things. Jeannie Gang broke her own record with the St. Regis. Triangular design is an homage to his days in the Navy. Keeping up with that nautical theme, we'll see a few more of his designs along the way. And they all include this signature. So just beyond this is Hotel right behind it, tall back in 2010. Tallest designed by a female architect. I know Regis is behind you, but if you want to take a look, you'll see she beat that record by a lot. It is significantly taller than all. Multicolored always changes. If you're still in this area later tonight, take a look up and check it out. Continuing on the right side, shorter structure, windows protruding out towards the bridge to your right side with that clock tower up there. This beautiful space is the Wrigley Building. 1921, designed by look up at that clock, you'll see every number represented by the letter W for William Wrigley, of course, of chewing gum fame. In a long-standing tradition, this building lights up every evening a brilliant, bright white. You'll get another great view once we emerge here. This is another one of my favorite buildings. You're going to hear me say that quite a few times along the tour, but it's such a beautiful space. Continuing on the right side, you'll notice Trump Tower coming up, complete back in 1971, about a year after his death. He never saw the complete construction on the space. But Vanderbilt's very last build, as you see here, Bertrand Goldberg did not, as you'll see in these towers. Goldberg said, there are no right angles found in nature, therefore he didn't include them in any of his designs. So these towers are very conceptual. They were designed to be a city within a city, complete back in 1964. This was an era, people were leaving downtown, moving to the suburbs. Goldberg wanted to provide incentive for people to stay downtown. So all of those suburban amenities that people were leaving for would be included in the towers. You would have your home, parking, like giant Pez dispensers. These are the merchant princes of Chicago. Many will assume they are our form. Once you're underneath this bridge, if you look over to your right from that vantage point, you'll just get a better visual trip through time and progress. You can physically see progress along the North Branch more so years. It moved from being an industrial warehouse district into what is now called River North. At this point in time, River North is one of the priciest neighborhoods to live in. In all of River North, you must own a dog, so this is where they all hang out. And in just a moment, you're going to get a very quick glimpse of the John Hancock building. Now if you blink, film, but that same mentality, that's exactly what Ogden did. He created the space for industry. Industry flocked to the city. frozen solid. They had to wait 6 months for it to thaw. Once it thawed, they resumed the renovation. They found some strange material. 1871, and the two World's Fairs hosted here, 1893 Columbian Exposition, 1929 Halberd and Root, another Art Deco. This has shown a lot of foresight. This public promenade facing the river. In 1929, the river symbolized all external support there. And then over here on the right side, this is Gateway Center number 4, fourth and final eminent domain, handed over to a developer who would do something worthwhile with the space. So Emmanuel started that process in the midst of it. Mr. Davis. Spanned 3 miles and it left nearly 100,000 Chicagoans homeless. This is about a third of the city's population back in 1871. Over 18,000 buildings destroyed. So this is obviously essentially a second Chicago. There are some misconceptions on our nicknames here. So a lot of people like to joke or actually think that we were called the second. This is the oldest building you'll see along the tour today in 1912. A proposed auditorium neoclassicism influenced by ancient Grecian or ancient Roman architecture. And again, that is how Daniel Burnham represented Chicago at very excited, like I said. That was the best feature of that old building. I'm glad that a little piece of it will live on, especially in the midst of these radical, drastic changes in downtown Chicago. So I do like to pretend to take credit for that, just sort of give her something so she stops talking about it every single day. And just up ahead on the right side, that red brick, another example of that Chicago school style. Remember, at specifically now over to your right side. So that chair shape is not inherently deco, it's a Chicago Art Deco quality. And you've noticed at this point, steel is in very structured, filled with water from the area of rehabilitation swimming pool for years and years. Only very recently was I was walking across Lake Shore and I saw that they have any signs of changing anytime soon. And now, coming up on your left, and despite Montgomery Ward's very best efforts, you're going to see Lake Point Tower. They found some legal loopholes and they snuck themselves east of Lakeshore Drive as of 1969. Curved black glass is on by George Shipwright and John Heinrich. I call this one is essentially where Chicago began. In the late 1700s, Jean-Baptiste Dusable made his home in that area of what would be Chicago. He's considered to be the first permanent resident of the city. Dusable is of Haitian descent, married to a Potawatomi woman named Catherine. He had this great understanding of the potential of this particular area of the Midwest and this river connecting with the heartland, so he became a fur trader, very successful. By 1833, we are incorporated. Ogden becomes our first mayor, starts constructing Goose Island, kickstarting the industry, the economy, and we're establishing ourselves as a city. That goes on for some time.